Before you negotiate a purchase or a sale, there's 5 things you really need to know, Mark.
So stick around because we're going to go through them all.
Yep. I mean, I think people think negotiation is just a simple little like there's an art to it.
I agree with you. There is an art to it. And I think it really takes two qualified people to get a better and good outcome. Because we both have had great agents, great outcomes, crap agents to deal with, no phone call back, ignored the irrevocability, doesn't get back to me on anything. We've had both sides of the coins,
Yes.
right?
So the first thing is market research. You have to know your market. You have to do research in that area and figure out what a good market price would be or what is the value.
You want to determine valuation at the end of the day. Diana, Mark, is this a good price? Well, let me check. Let me, again, depending on the area, we in Barrie, we know boom, 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 pretty much, but let's say
We
Oro Medante.
Well,
Okay.
you know what though, Mark, even in Barrie, you still, depending on like, we don't know every single house, every single style of house in every single area.
No, no,
We
no.
still, once somebody likes a house, we still need to do the research.
I agree to see if the price point is on cue with the last or relatively recent sale in the marketplace. And I really think today, I don't think there's a lot of that going on today. I just think people are just putting out offers and going, well, I don't know, let's just see if they accept it without doing their homework. I see it. I've got offers. I've got offers from experienced agents. They're going, I can't believe they submitted that. Like that's really, really low. Say it's been
Hmm.
15 years, whatever, whatever. On the shop,
Hmm.
or it's heavily conditioned, or maybe selling with a backup property, and they came like, ah, oh, okay. The outcome's not going to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well,
yeah,
and the next big thing is
too.
clear communication. And that clear communication is between you and your client and between both agents.
I agree. There's lots going on. The phones are ringing, the texts are coming in. Hey, you got questions? Does it have 200 amp? Or hey, we notice a water softener. Is it a rental? Or is there any contract? There's multiple things that come out of quick dialogue between agent to agent to find. You're busy on the phone. You're busy because
Well, and especially I've had two, I told you on the weekend, neither one would sign back. So we put in an offer and they just, well, we're not going to deal with it at all. Then we made it better, they still wouldn't deal with it. So I had to call the agent and say, hey, like, we're both working towards the same thing here. You want to sell, we want to buy. Can you get your clients engaged in negotiations here?
Mhm.
Because and so you need to make sure that the agent you're working with is going to go that extra mile instead of just, oh, well, they're not going to sign back. Let's move on. Like sometimes, that communication skill is hugely important.
It is, but I question again, is that a seller mindset or is that an agent mindset? Oh, the price is too low. We want full list price on that property. We only been listed a day or two. Okay, it could be valid points, but if it was priced really good, then it should have been gone within the first hour or two it was listed then.
Well, some of them are right
Some of
now.
them are, but most aren't though.
Yeah.
Most aren't, right?
Well,
They're
I think the clear communication is you need, as the buyer or the seller and the agent, you need the communication. I need to be able to communicate to my client exactly what's going on, explain what's going on. They already know the market because that was the first thing. And then give them the ability to make decisions based on exactly what's happening with between all of us. Like some agents don't go back and tell their clients shit. They just say no. So
well,
that
that's wrong.
the communication has to be everywhere between everybody, right?
On most situations, sure. But if whether you're for a buyer or seller, I think all parties need to be communicated. if I'm representing seller, I'm going to communicate, hey, we got an offer on this. I think it could be pretty light. But you know what? I talked to the agent and the agent seems confident that, there's some good interest in the house that we can work well and hopefully get a deal done. Let's do a sign back. Okay, what should we sign back at? Well, it was, so I'm going to make this up. It was 40 grand below list price and we're priced at 659. I'd go 658. Play the game a little bit. Then, because if I came down 5 grand that fast, I'd go, I know what I'd do. If I was the buying age, I'd go, holy cow, they dropped their pants at 5 grand on a shitty offer. They must
So
be.
this is what I always tell my clients. When you're negotiating, the first sign back tells you.
It does. It's always the first sign back. And I say the first sign, I said to them all the time,
Me too.
if the first sign back will tell us their motivation.
Yep.
I expect to sign it back at full list if we come in like this. But if you want to try that, I mean, again, we're still want to get a deal done. And again, all the research has been done. The S property is decently priced in the market, blah, 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 blah. That will tell us a tune. And if they drop 5 grand, I'd hit them hard again.
That's the whole thing. The first sign back is going to tell you everything. If they won't sign back, that's telling you something too. It's
right. And
right.
I really think too, with, if a seller was priced properly, and we'll go back to 650 price point or whatever, if they were priced properly from the get-go, that has a lot of confidence too. That should hold a lot of weight with the seller. Say, hey, we're priced good. We've got 5 showings in the queue booked for over the weekend. That's really good. There's not much listed in this price range in this neighborhood, so I'm confident we'll get a sale. You're very flexible on the closing date. Be patient. We're going to get your dollar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's not drop the pants and sign it back at 5K or 10K below. And we've seen that. I've seen that, and so I'm going, wow, didn't see that coming.
Well, and that brings us to the third thing, flexibility and options. Okay. So to me, the biggest thing that you have to work with when you're negotiating is time and money. Some people, if it's a faster closing, they'll give up more money because they're in trouble and they need out.
Or the dates are going to work good for their closing on the other end, maybe, hey,
yeah,
and we need a December 10th closing date. We need that because they bought the other property. Can you do that? Sure can. I got a call the other day on my listing and it was December 10th. So yeah, we can do that. They've already sold the property in Barrie. You guys, sure we can. We'll do that. That's not a problem.
Well, and this is the whole thing. When you have the time and money comes into, if I don't really have to sell, then I'll wait.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like, there's too many sellers out there doing that now. The market's
No,
fun.
but what I'm saying is that's a negotiation thing. If they're not highly motivated because they don't have another house to go to yet, there's not a lot of high motivation, you're probably not getting it for a way below the list. The motivation is everything.
We're seeing in this marketplace between 97-98% of sale price to list price. That's consistently seeing what we're seeing.
Mark, I put in a sign back. I put the sign back in at 97% and they still wouldn't even sign it back.
Well, I know sometimes that happens. Maybe, you know what? They got a decent product. They were priced okay.
And no rush.
Well,
they're not buying another property. They already owned another property. Their kids living in this property. There's no rush. They could have waited. She told me, well, the closing could be in 5 months. I don't care. We don't care.
Because it was priced with confidence too. And I think that's what this marketplace is missing. Not a lot of properties priced with confidence.
I seen a couple today too that came out good.
Couple were, but then we're off topic a bit. So let's maybe stay back on it. But to that point, we've seen stuff that's priced $1,165,000 and now it's $999 after 4 months. Was that priced with confidence? That was priced. Well, see if I get it.
Well, because there's not a lot of desperate people, but that when you're negotiating, that's the whole thing. The flexibility and the options are important because you have to figure out what is important to that other person. As an agent, I need to talk to the other agent and figure out what's their motivation, what's important.
Right.
Can we maybe move the closing up to suit them and we move in with our mom for 2 weeks? You see that happening all the time,
Could be. Yeah.
right? So that's what you got to figure out.
Yeah.
Number 4 is the professional representation, meaning don't try to do this yourself, because we do this all day long, every day for years, and we still come up with issues trying to deal with some of these people, right?
It can be tough. Negotiations aren't an easy thing at times, right? They can be very difficult. And if you got, I've dealt with some outstanding agents in my time, and I've dealt with some people that shouldn't be agents at all. And those are the tough ones to deal with, because if they're not understand the market, it's tough. It's tough. If
Well,
they
and we
experience,
have,
it's tough.
a lot of us have almost, what do you call it? We already have a lot of relationships with certain people that we know that we do deals with all the time.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. I mean, those deals always go good, right? When we're dealing with local agents, they go great. Or even some out of town agents that we've done things with. Yeah, there's some history there, but that seldom happens in today's market up here. Years ago, we saw that, not anymore. So we're dealing with all different types of people today on a real estate transaction.
And you have to make sure that who you're dealing with, if you feel comfortable that they're professional and if they're giving you the confidence.
For
Because
sure.
that person, if they can't talk to you and you don't trust them, you think the other agent's gonna?
Yeah. Well, I know. And, you know, for sure. And experience and confidence go hand in hand in my books. And I've gone to offer presentations when we'd like to present the offer. Okay. This is years ago. Came in, have a seat. Clients, or me and my clients. So it's three, and the agent came in four. She was shaking like a leaf. She couldn't present the offer. I had to present the offer. I'm going. She won because it was multiple offers, but holy cow, couldn't even present the offer. That nervous.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
confidence. Shouldn't want that one in my corner. Are they going to
well,
fight with you? No way. She
well,
bought.
and
She
I
bought,
know,
bought for them. She got the
yeah.
highest price, which wow. So
And you know what I found too, that the more deals that I did, the more and more experience I got, the more confidence I got.
it just takes time. It just takes time, right? It's so important. And I always say, hey, whether you're a buying agent or a selling agent, people interview two or three people, interview them, because
Hmm.
you don't just take, oh, I got referred from a friend of a friend, know someone. How many experiences I've heard from people that took that route and they've been God, I haven't heard one good experience yet. So
I know.
say, I'll interview that person. Thanks for letting me know. But I'm also going to interview two other people as well to see where how we fit in with, working with the most qualified agent or the best, they feel comfortable with that agent, they trust that agent, they have credibility. That's where I think people should take their time. How many you've gone through it, and I've gone through it, hearing horror stories from our viewers on situations where they've done that route or a friend of a friend, or they work with someone, their sisters are real. It's been that costs them hundreds of thousands of dollars in fuck ups.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well,
Ah,
and the fifth thing that came up was emotional intelligence, meaning what's the motivation of people? Do you understand that, this process, there's a lot of emotions involved in it.
there's tons.
And you have to, when you're negotiating, try to remove your emotions. This is a deal. This is a business deal. This is about money. So I tell my clients all the time, like, you cannot get emotionally involved and say, oh, they just placed an offer that's way too low, in my opinion. I'm not signing it back. A lot of those people come up and you end up getting a deal done.
They do. They do. I don't disagree.
Happens
And
to me all the time. But you get your backup and you could just lose that person. And sometimes, well, there's a saying in our industry, your first offer is always your best. I don't know if that's exactly true, but don't let your emotions rule what you're doing.
But within reason, though, when I get an offer that's, very low, of course, I always like talking to an agent whether I receive an offer, right when I get one, I always call them right away. I want to find out what I want to find out more about the buyer's motivation in a way. Yeah, Mark, they're moving up here. They want to be closer to their parents. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, by the way, have they been pre-qualified? Yep, financing's all in place. We do have a condition in there, but as you know, we like to be safe. Yeah, understand. Oh, by the way, they have two good jobs, two professionals. One's a school teacher, one's an accountant. Oh, great, great stability. All that information goes back to my seller and saying to
Yes.
build confidence with the buyer. Say, hey, this could work.
Yeah.
Um, and it could be, I'm going to make it's 60 grand below list price, but I'm confident we can do it. I talked to the agent, Mark, they just want to try this number. Please work with me on it. Okay. Then I know that it's not his number, her number. When it's the agent's number and I'm priced properly and they come like that, I have a problem with it. I
I
do.
know.
And I
Well,
say it to them. Where is this going? That's the number one question. Well, Mark, it's almost their max. No problem. I'll make a quick phone call, but let me call you back in 10 minutes. Let's not deal with this because it's not going anywhere.
well, and this is the other thing. If they tell you, listen, they can't get higher than 650, that's their max, that's all they're approved
Well, it's my
for,
time.
then you say, you know what, I'm sorry. You
Oh,
talk to your seller,
yeah.
and yeah, so that emotion, but you can't, the emotion of it, it has to all come down to numbers. What's the market value? What is it worth? What can you pay for it? You know what I mean?
That's why pricing is so important. And
Yeah.
that's why it's so important. And we've seen enough videos and we've done enough content on about the listings and our stats and about where the inventory is and why it's so high. There's a reason why it's so high. This video is not to get into that, but I could see if I was 50 grand overpriced, yeah, Mark, I'm sorry, but I did the numbers and here's the comps and they could back it up and it's 50 grand overpriced and I should know it's overpriced because I'm the guy that priced it. Yeah, send it over. I don't disagree with them or
Mark, do
her.
you know how many people, and this is just in the last little while, I've shown a few different people, which we haven't done a deal yet, but okay, we want to go in at 600 and it's listed at 680.
I'd say, sorry, why were we going in that price? I wouldn't put that offer at you. You look stupid.
Well, the thing is, they
If
don't
it's priced right,
understand.
if it's
Well,
priced,
the thing is,
oh,
Mark, they don't understand this, and this ties back to the emotional. You are now offering somebody, you're lowballing somebody and you're upsetting them. And now they're emotionally involved and pissed off. And
yeah,
now they don't even want to work with you.
well,
Even if you come up, they don't care.
that's right. It can happen. It's happened. So that's where I believe the real estate agent, him or her, whether so is that buyer client educated? I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
I've educated them lots of times and they don't care.
then I wouldn't submit paper. That'd be me. I'd say, sorry, you know what? I think you should find another real estate agent. I'd say that.
Mhm.
I'm not about wasting my time. And it's not because I have some big ego. If I'm educating you on the market, what this property is worth, and I'm backing everything up, and you still want to go on 60 or 80 grand below where it should be, and this is the property is priced current for the market, why are we wasting our time?
Because Mark, a lot of people want to try it and I've had clients do it and they go up and
Oh,
they
yeah.
pay. But they go up and they do pay.
But they do, but where
Because you
like, I
can't
would
you
ask
can't
that
start
question.
off high. You can start off at a lower number and go up, but you can't go down.
Yeah,
That's their theory.
that's a stupid offer, though. I will say that's a very stupid offer, and I wouldn't write one like that. That'd be me. You maybe or some other agent. I don't care, but I know I wouldn't write one like that because I think that's an insult, and negotiations are starting off on the bad foot right away.
Well, and I tell people
And
that,
they should listen.
you can insult people
They should listen.
and to the point where sometimes they won't deal with you at all. I've had it.
Right. So
And I
that
warn them.
because you're gonna get the question. Okay, do you send me that off? Okay, Dan, where's this going? And you didn't give me the answer that I wanted. We wouldn't sign back.
I
We'd
know.
say sorry. No, we're not going to sign this back because we feel we're not wasting our time. We feel that this isn't going to come together.
Hmm.
So there's lots of good points, and I think there's lots of good points on both sides. And I really think it has to do with the pricing and it has to do with the relationships and the education of what both parties, we're trying to bring these parties together to, be happy with the price and be happy with what they bought. We
My
don't,
goal at the end is everybody's happy.
well, for sure, for sure. And I believe happy outcomes come from properties priced for a market. When properties aren't priced for a market, nothing's happening.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to negotiate that. You got to educate the agent. Do you know how many times I've been in negotiations and I've actually had to tell the agent what to tell their seller? I've
Yeah,
had to actually send them comparables and say,
that's unbelievable. Like that's
happens all the time.
that's poor representation. So there it comes down to, folks, is that you should be really interviewing 2 and 3 people.
Mhm.
That's what people should be doing. And they're not doing it today. So they're settling for this type of representation. You're putting your biggest asset in the line. You're buying a property. You're making massive decisions on poor quality agents and bad advice and bad education. I don't know. And we see it all the time in our business.
Well, I see it all the time.
But anyway,
Hey, if you like the comment, hit the like, subscribe. And I hope these pointers helped you. And you know what? If you already are committed to an agent, ask a lot of these questions we talked about.
ask them all.
Yeah.
Ask them all. Interview them. Ask
Well,
them.
if the agent isn't telling you what the buyer, like the stuff we talked about, then ask the agent to ask the other agent.
Yeah, there's
You know what
lots.
I mean? Find out.
Anybody wants any more information on the Barrie Simcoe market, reach out to Dan and myself. We'd be happy to help you out. Okay, see you.
See ya.
Walk, Ted.
Okay.